This news story was produced by Cogeco North Bay News. To watch the full newscast, tune into channels 12 or 700 live at 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. The city staff duo of Karen McIsaac and Peter Leckie both outlined proposed changes to North Bay's procedural bylaw concerning rules surrounding public presentations, among other items. Then our cameras caught this. North Bay Taxpayers Association member Don Rennick donning duct tape over his mouth, a very loud yet silent statement. The presentation and subsequent questions from council took about an hour before several passionate presentations opposed the changes.
In September, I read the media reports about the proposed procedural bylaw changes, and my immediate reaction was, why? I am reminded of that old statement that if one blindly follows the masses, sometimes the M is silent.
Just because other people do things a certain way, that doesn't make it right. And I would just ask you to keep an open forum in this city.
Now, assuming your procedural guide allows you to throw people such as Mr. Rennick out on their ears, my respectful legal submission is that your procedural guide is not worth the paper it is written on, sir.
It's going to make a lot more work for the clerk. I can't even wrap my head around the changes. And I can't wrap my head around it. The clerk is going to have a difficult time, and the clerk has a deputy clerk, and I think that office is going to have a heck of a time trying to work around what constitutes a presentation, what's a delegation, what's a 2-minute, what's a 5-minute, and try to get yourself a little database on who presented, what date, how much did they talk about, and what did they talk about.
Post-meeting, several members of council justified their desire to change the rules.
I have been working with my colleagues to change those recommendations. So what I'm planning to do is have unlimited 5-minute presentations. The only criteria to be able to do that unlimited 5-minute presentation is to just call or email our city clerk, or you could show up in person and just say, I'd like to be on the agenda and I'd like to present about this topic. And that's all you need to do.
You need to do it every 5 years. They put a lot of recommendations, a lot of thought. They did put a lot of research in it. They talked to over 100 municipalities, and those are the recommendations to council, and council has the ability to accept, reject, or make some changes to those that are there. I think it was very clear that council supports unlimited 5-minute presentations, so any member of our public can come and present, and we've been trying to say that for a while now, but it actually came out crystal clear.
I look at that, making sure people still have a voice to speak, and that's that transparency that we were talking about. I think tonight it was proven that we do need some changes to the way presentations are brought forward, especially, and maybe that's part of the code of conduct. Not stopping, and not stopping people from presenting. I truly believe everybody has a say. I also want to make sure that people realize these are just recommendations coming forward. There's still going to be more talk. There's still going to be more debate amongst councillors. Hopefully there will be more public input.
It's early in the process. I think Chair Frechette is going to hold this on committee for a while, so there'll be a lot of discussion with staff. And at the point where I think everyone's in as much agreement as we can be, it'll come back. But I suspect it'll be a number of weeks, if not months, before it comes back.
I think if I took anything away from tonight, personally, I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the discussion back and forth. Certainly there were a number of people who made presentations tonight. Sometimes it wasn't maybe as nice as we'd like to hear a presentation, but the fact of the matter is, it's becoming more and more obvious to me that the public are being more engaged in what we're doing here.
I think a lot of people are trying to make staff out to be, the monsters in this and just, putting forward things. But that's their job. They have to give us reports, and it's up to us to make that decision as a council. We have the ability to change things, which is exactly what was put forward to us tonight. Anytime a question was asked, staff said, that's up to you. If you want to change it, you can change it.
At the end of the day, I think this will be, the bylaw will end up being an improvement. It'll look at best practices, and it'll provide some structure, but also allow citizens to have their say.
The naysayers stood firm as well post-meeting.
They're trying to muzzle citizens from speaking, and of course they've already barred me from speaking for reasons which are not true. They insisted I was insulting people, and the citizens and the staff and workers, and So it was a silent statement to indicate that I wasn't happy with that.
For the last 50 years in North Bay, people have been allowed to make presentations to City Council, and I think it's just undemocratic that the City Council now is requiring people to be scripted.
This item remains on committee for more discussion. Reporting for Cogeco North Bay News, I'm Clark Heupel. If you are interested in watching Cogeco North Bay News, you can become a subscriber by calling 1-800-267-9000.